So tonight we're going to be tying the Emrald Shinner on a tube. We're going to begin a little far off the edge of the tube there. Reasoning is you don't want to run out of room when you're building your head. And we'll just take our thread towards the back of the tube here. We're going to make a nice little base here. We're not going to go crazy, wacky, or nothing. We just want to create a nice base. Come in with your scissors and cut off your tag end. Once your tag end is cut off, you could attach your body material. Now, if you guys haven't checked out these scissors yet, these are the Med scissors. I highly recommend these. These are some of the best scissors I've ever used. They are actually the best scissors that I've ever used. So I would highly recommend that you pick these up. I've had these for 2 years and they haven't gone dull. And they're just beautiful. Come in with some Bill's body braid. I have a whole spool of it. This is just the easiest way to do it. That way you have plenty of it. And I'm going to cut off a tag of this Bill's body braid. And I'm going to tie it in on my near side. Lock it in with one thread, slide it down, and then work it back to the tube tool. And then just work your thread all the way forward to about right there. And then we're just going to take this and we are actually going to create our Emrald Shinner body. Take this forward. This fly is super simple and very, very effective. So once we have it here, we'll tie this off. If you have Emrald Shiners, where trout eat them or bass, this is a perfect pattern for it, especially on a tube. In the winter season, if Emrald Shiners are around, this is just a great pattern to have. Next thing, I'm going to come in with some Bucktail. And I'm just going to take a very little. If you have calf tail, you could use calf tail. But I am actually going to clean out some butts out of here. If you notice, some of them are uneven. So this you could end up using, but I'm going to disregard it. And we're going to break the Bucktail rule. We're going to take some of this chunk off. So we want it about yay long. You will want it about a 2 fly lengths long, 2 tube lengths long. So we're going to take that, cut it off, and then we're going to just attach it right there. I'm going to keep it on top of the tube. You don't want to go too crazy, but then you want to lock it down and cover up those butt ends. Once you have those butt ends covered up, you can let that go. And then we're going to come in with some olive. Clean out the shorts. Just make it easier when we're building this. And you want your green slightly longer than your white, about yay long. Get a nice straight cut, and with your thread, just go over nice and lightly once, twice. Make sure it's good to go. It's nice and even on both sides, and then you're just going to lock it in. Once you lock this in, you could apply some glue or Zap-A-Gap. I highly recommend using Zap-A-Gap. Head cement, something along those lines, and I'm going to go ahead and whip finish it. We slipped off the tube. Be careful. There you go. There's one. And two. Cut that off. And then we're going to hit it with a little Zappa gap. Just to cover the bases. And there it is. And now we could attach some tiny eyes on it. These are some 5mm eyes by Flyman. It's the fish skull eyes and silver. I'm just going to put those on. Shiners have pretty big eyes, but I want to set them back a little bit. Right about there. Alright, so there's one. And then we're going to come in with the other one on the opposite side. Going to line up our eyes. Make sure they're good. If you think they're good, you could come in with your UV resin. And we're going to go straight to thick on the UV here. And we're just going to fill the gap in. I'm going to come in with the thick. Right in between the eyes right there. Bring it down just a tad to round off that head. Hit it with the UV light. Alright, and then we're going to do the underside now. And you could notice there's a big gap there, so we want to fill that gap up. And that's filled. So then we're going to come in with the UV light and clear that up. Once that's dry, you have a nice little head, but we're not done. Now we're going to come in with some UV flow, and the flow is just going to make it not tacky. You don't want to go too much with this. You just want to make it not tacky. But cover your eyes. Get a little bit on those edges. And now we're just going to spin it. And this is a true rotary vise, however it's not adjusted to where it's perfectly rotary right now because it's on a tube. I'm just going to come in with the light and just cure that. Alright, we're all set with that. Now we can take our fly out. So you remove that. Take your tube out. And now we're going to have to flare this part in the front. So to flare it, you could use a candle or you could use a lighter. Just be careful with the lighter. All you need is that blue flame. You do not want to use that yellow flame. And just flare it out a little bit. You have UV resin on there, so just take it nice and easy. And there you go. Now you have a little flare on there. You got a nice little hole for your line to go through. And now we're going to do our junction tubing to this. I'm going to actually slide this on. just like so. And there's your junction tubing. And we're just going to cut it to size. I'm going to come in and I'm actually going to cut it about here long. Make sure you don't snip any of your bucktail. I'm trying not to snip it. So there's your junction tubing. Now to attach the hook to this, it's super simple. Here I have a HR 430 by Arex, and this is a tube fly hook. And the tube fly hook simply just slides in there just like that. And now you have a complete fly. So there it is. Now you're fishing over logs or whatever, you could just turn that hook upside down just like that, and now you have a drag-free fly. If you want to turn it this way so it's keeled properly, there it is. Alright, so there is your Emerald Shiner. Alright, so what I've got here is a 10-pound test mono, 8-pound test mono, and this is Maxima. What I'll do is I'll just take it through the fly, and you'll see it come out on the other end. There it is. You'll slide the fly down a little bit, and I'm going to do a quick knot on here. Slide it down. It's cinched. And I'll come up with my scissors or nippers, whatever you've got. Cut that off. And now you can take your fly, turn it right side up, cinch it on there, and that's how it rides. So now you have your line going through here. A fish eats your fly. The hook pops out, fly rides up. Now you just have the fly, the fish on the hook and the bare hook, and your fly is not getting destroyed. But that's your Emerald Shiner. That's how the tube fly works. And that's that.